Number 19 is, do I let myself fail enough? It's not only okay to fail, it's often necessary in order to achieve greatness, says Sarah Lewis, a critic at Yale University School of Art and former member of President Obama's Art Policy Committee. In her new book, The Rise, Lewis reveals why setbacks and mistakes can be the very things that push us toward mastery. And I am clinging to that with this weight loss thing. Okay, so she was interviewed, and Oprah magazine says, how has our culture misunderstood the term failure? Lewis says, it was never meant to describe human beings. According to one historian, the usage of failure shifted in 19th century America from denoting bankruptcy to describing people. It's been a forced fit from the start. We think of failure as a dead end, a point of no return, but the human spirit is dynamic, not static. I'm liking this already. Okay, Oprah magazine says, what should we call failure, and how should we feel about it instead? Lewis says, you can call it a learning experience, a step on your path. Consider the way an athlete replays the tape of her last game, gleaning ways to improve, or how scientists get great use out of lessons from failed hypotheses. Mastery is an ever-onward proposition. William Faulkner wrote an appendix to The Sound of the Fury 16 years after it was published. Less than 10% of Cézanne's paintings bear his signature, and some art historians theorize that this was because he was never fully satisfied with them. Oprah magazine says, and missteps are valuable too, right? Lewis says, they can be, absolutely. Mistakes keep you striving. In fact, expertise can actually hinder innovation. There's a company called Innocentive that crowdsources answers to problems other companies can't fix. Perhaps because they're too ingrained in their expertise to see solutions. Who provides many of those solutions? Amateurs. Because amateurs are often more willing than experts to be wrong, and being wrong is often how you figure out what's right. Oprah magazine says, so when you're faced with a setback, you should accept it. But then what? Lewis says, make friends with it, then get some distance. When you have a bit more fortitude, look at it objectively, as though you're observing the actions of another person. Pick it apart to find what was positive. Give yourself a safe haven to try out new techniques. Remember, all those who felt this way before you. Find camaraderie with every artist, every person who discovered their greatest advantages in the very things most of us don't want to discuss, mistakes. And know that you're in excellent company. That's from Katie Arnold Ratliff. That's something that I'm going to have to actually read again. I feel like that was a little deeper than what I gave it credit for. So maybe you'll want to just hit rewind and listen to this again. And because I feel like there's some really deep and valuable truths in what I just read. And I want to kind of pick them apart. Because I'm the type of person that takes failure as a big setback. And then I get discouraged. So instead... and it's just another one of those things that just came to me. I'm always teaching my kids exactly what I just read. But when it comes to me, I take failure as like the biggest loss. So maybe what I'm actually teaching my kids through experience and by example contradicts with what I'm teaching them by word of mouth. Anyway, so that's why these questions are pretty good right now, because they're really causing me to think. I hope that they're causing you to think. So I'm going to go on to question number 20. I'll link it here and you can check it out if you would like to.